Rotary clubs bring together dedicated individuals to exchange ideas, build relationships, and take action. Today, Rotary has 1.2 million members in more than 34,000 clubs worldwide. Wherever they're located around the world, Rotary clubs are committed to service on behalf of those in need, epitomized by the Rotary motto, service above self. Local clubs have the connections necessary to identify major needs in their communities and the dedication to develop sustainable solutions. The worldwide resources of Rotary are uniquely powerful in the implementation of these solutions. The Rotary Foundation both leads and supports the efforts of community-based clubs, working together with them on local service projects and global initiatives. The foundation was established in 1928 for the purpose of doing good in the world, and since then it has successfully implemented initiatives in many areas of need, such as polio eradication and peacemaking. District, global, and package grants enable Rotarians to respond to the world's greatest needs, and the foundation guides these efforts through prioritized areas of focus. In 2008, the Midday Rotary Club of San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, began a needs analysis of its local area. The club quickly identified a major unaddressed problem: contamination of drinking water in the rural communities of northern Guanajuato. High levels of fluoride and arsenic in the groundwater supply were causing severe health problems for the poor residents of these areas, especially for children. Thousands of very low-income residents were consuming toxic levels of these chemicals because there were no available alternatives to their contaminated well water. SMA Midday Rotary learned of an organization that wanted to address this problem, known as CEDESA, the Center for Agricultural Development. CEDESA had been founded in the 1960s to support economic development and family and community improvement in these communities. SMA Midday Rotary and CEDESA felt that water harvesting could be an economical and sustainable solution to the need for safe drinking water in these areas. Cisterns can be constructed and maintained by community residents themselves at low cost, and the annual rainfall is sufficient to meet the needs of a large family. The water from cisterns is disinfected using the solar method with no need for chemicals. The first project was completed in 2008 in Los Torres, a remote rural community. Members of the Los Torres community went on to construct 27 family cisterns and 3 at school sites. The residents themselves demonstrated the value of this approach initiated by Rotary and CEDESA. Interest in water harvesting spread slowly but surely in Guanajuato when word circulated about the Los Torres project. A woman from the community of Las Magueyes heard on the radio about Rotary's water harvesting projects and attended on her own a meeting of the SMA Midday Club to say that her community desperately needed clean water. With the assistance of Rotary and CEDESA, she and some of her neighbors created a list of families who wanted help. The Middletown, Connecticut and Calgary Chinook clubs were approached regarding support of a project focusing on her community and one nearby, La Palma. Many families in these 2 communities had either no drinking water at all or well water which was contaminated. Funding was confirmed from Connecticut's Middletown Club and District 7980 and from Calgary's Chinook Club, and the work began. Community residents held a series of meetings to make potential participants aware of the obligations of participation and construction. They were taught how to run meetings and elected a coordinator. 3 work groups of families were formed, and 2 leaders were appointed as the go-to people for each group. A pilot cistern was then constructed, and this served as a Train the Trainers event. Community members were taught the construction process from beginning to end and carried out all aspects of it themselves. As a result, they understand fully how the cisterns work and can readily carry out the maintenance required in future years. All cisterns in Las Magueyes and La Palma were completed by late spring, and a celebration of the project's completion was held on April 19, 2013. While the project technically ends with the completion of the cisterns, its effects will continue indefinitely. The families will continue to hold community meetings and seek solutions to the many other health, educational, and development needs of their communities. They've learned how to use and maintain their cisterns without external help or additional expense. They also learned how to work together with their neighbors for the betterment of their communities and how to use their collective strength to advocate for themselves. They will now be an ongoing part of COSIRA, the Regional Citizens Council in this part of rural Mexico. Through COSIRA, they will work to address issues related to sanitary waste, food production and processing, and health. Their experience working together on this project will help them immensely as they work with neighbor communities to obtain solutions critical to the future of their families. At the completion of this project at Las Magueyes and La Palma, more than 600 cisterns have been constructed through this initiative, which began with the concern and dedication of one small Rotary Club. 21 poor communities and more than 4,000 individuals now have a permanent and sustainable water source free of toxic chemicals. This achievement has been made possible by the work and financial contributions of the Rotary Foundation and many Rotary clubs and districts throughout North America. Senora Lilia was the Las Magueyes resident who heard on the radio about the water harvesting efforts of Rotary and SEDESA and made her way to a club meeting to ask for help. Recently, Senora Lilia went on the radio herself to talk about the initiative and encourage other communities to join the effort and to advocate for funding for more cisterns. Rotary's goal of lasting change will be achieved not only because of its financial support, but most importantly because it's empowering individuals and communities to dedicate themselves to the betterment of their families and that of their neighbors. This is Rotary in action.